lot of times when there's a soloist, we get into a habit of like relying on the soloist to give us the cue for when we should come in. And we're relying on the soloist to give us the cue for what our phrasing should be, how our dynamics should sound. And a lot of that is partially true. You know, we want to be able to balance our dynamics and phrasing and all that kind of stuff to what he's doing, but he's not here today. So what does that mean for us if he's not here today? No.
Whatever we want.
Well, to listen, but we gotta work on this ourselves now too, right? Because now Diego's not here to provide the phrasing and the dynamics for us. So we gotta build that ourselves so that when he comes back, there's a whole different kind of support for him. In the jazz bands, we talk all the time about like when there's a soloist, the background figures are just supporting what the soloist is doing, right? Not any different in this situation. Now today we don't have a soloist, so we get to work on the backgrounds. You see what I'm saying? Main point is we need more phrasing in this section underneath Diego's solo. Right, Tubas?
Yeah.
Because last time, when we just played this, it was flat, right? It was all one dynamic until the very last measure when there's a crescendo written, and then we kind of went like this, right? We got to add some phrasing into this just to make it a little bit more interesting, because God forbid, in the concert, we have no oboes, but we still have to play that part, and it can't just be. So here's 54 with all that in mind. Let's add some phrasing in here. 1, 2, ready, and. Thank you, second and third clarinets, for being the only people I heard doing shaping.
You're welcome.
Can anybody tell me what they did that was different?
They run.
We should be listening, right? What they did that was different was just like we do in later in the piece. They kind of grow into it and then they come off of it. I think I've made this reference like a million times. I think of anytime we have like hairpin dynamics, I think of the tide, right? The tide comes in, dynamics get a little bit louder, then the tide comes back out, right? So it just kind of comes in waves. And that's what I heard you guys do that time, on purpose or not. And it's awesome. So now we need everybody to do it. Leandro.
I also think it was like pushing the notes forward.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily going faster, right? It's just had more energy to it. Here's 54 again, everybody. Can we all do that? I think that would make this section a whole lot more interesting, a lot cooler, and then when Diego comes back, he's going to be like, oh my god, you guys changed everything. It sounds so different. Here's 54. 1, 2, ready, and... You played trombone 1?
I mean, I have the part. No, I usually play second, but I have the part.
Okay. So, in this part, for right now, play your part. And then we may add this part. Okay? Cool. Did you guys feel a difference at 54? Hopefully you have Texas. A couple no's, that's okay. We'll do it again. Yeah.
Something I was thinking about.
Leandra's talking, everybody.
Something I was thinking about when playing is that I tend to forget that we're actually supporting the when he's doing the solo. It's like in jazz when there's a solo, the band is supposed to support the soloist, so the soloist can have more motivation or energy.
Exactly, yeah. The background figures aren't just like filler, right? I mean, for some composers they are. For Robert Shelton, it's not. He wrote these things on purpose behind what Diego's doing, because that is what best supports what he's playing, right? Let's do that again. Let's make that even bigger and more dramatic. Here's 54 again, everybody. Yeah, quickly. 1, 2, ready, and. Let's try that again. Here's 67. 1, 2, ready, and. We can hit that a little bit better.
Wait, where are we? Oh, it's 67.
We can get that a little bit better. Hear the note and focus exactly where you want the pitch to land before you play it. 1, 2, ready. Better, now be careful of tuning. 2, 3, and 1. Not that long ago, I'm getting the sense that because we're missing Alex, we're missing the cues that we're used to hearing. Yeah, we're used to hearing it with him. But now we don't have to, so we gotta play it. Okay. Let's do, start at 67 again, everybody. Here's 67. 1, 2, ready, go. 2 chimes in behind. And 1. Push it ahead. That's the idea. 2, 3, kind of silly if we came into this and did this the same exact way every single time. Do you guys know who Frida Kahlo is, the painter? Yeah, she's a famous Mexican painter who was like, her thing was that she painted portraits of herself, which seems a little self-absorbed to me. But the thing is that like, she had this idea of herself in her head, but when she painted each of her portraits, they were always a little bit different, right? Even though she always looked, like as a person, she always looked the same, but each of her portraits were a little bit different. Any piece of music that you play, you got to go into it with that same mindset. It's like the idea of it is still there, but the representation of it is a little bit different each time. The interpretation can change each time. And that's why it's so important we keep saying, like, you got to be looking up for music and connecting with the people around you, right? You notice when we got into the ending section there, I pulled back, and Jason was the only person that followed me. Okay, so we always got to be watching. Let's all go back to better job on that trombones. I'm going to give you a second chance on that. Go back to, let's do this whole section now. 54. Here's 54. Yep, 54 in the end. Here's 54, everybody. Let's try and take it to the end. Even though today's kind of like, quote unquote, an easy day because we're smaller, let's try and take everything we've mentioned so far and put this into practice. Think about your phrasing, think about the interpretation. Again, I'm gonna change something, I promise. I don't even know what it is yet. But when it happens, I'm gonna change it. Okay? So we gotta be connected. Here's 54. 1, 2, ready, and pickups to 75, here it is. Not pickups, just right on 75. 1, 2, 75, and... 3 bars, make sure that we're articulating each of these last chords together. Sound is really nice. It's gotta be together. Last 3 bars. 1, 2, ready. Yeah, so just to see what would happen, I held on to that last one a little bit longer. And in the entrance, I heard like a.
That was me, my bad.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's why we're here. Last 3 bars. One more time. 1, 2, ready, and. No. But can we remember a long time ago? Bless you. Somebody once told me. Somebody once told me that the best musicians are the ones that have the most control over their quiet part.
It's me.
It's so easy to play loud, right? It's so easy to play loud, and it's so easy to play loud with a good or a bad tone. Playing loud with a good tone is not that hard. Playing soft with a good tone, for any percussion included, right? That's hard. Here's the last 3 bars. Be the musicians that can play well at a soft dynamic. 2, ready? Articulate together. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so we'll keep coming back to this, but just remember, like at the end in the soft sections, we got to be careful to. I always say this: breathe together, play together, right? So it has to be a instead of a right, because that's kind of what in these last couple runs. That's kind of what I've gotten. It's just like the entrance isn't quite together. The sound is great. Let's move on to Zorro.
Okay. Yeah.